All this week on Dateline Schools, we're talking about the ACEs program, which stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. It's an effort to help our students who have this trauma and stress in their life to be able to deal with it so it doesn't have a negative impact on their classroom or on their academics. And to help us explain and learn about this program, a special guest is SCCRESA's behavior specialist, Joe Zima. And Joe, a lot of times we think of trauma and this stress as more of a mental health issue, but it's a lot more than that, isn't it?
It's quite a bit more, yeah, and that's what we're finding in our local schools. Kids that go through these adverse experiences, we really see a change in the architecture of their brain, meaning their stress response system is by and large a neurological process. And when that becomes impacted, or these kids spend more time in this fight or flight mode because of the stress they've incurred, we're really having to think about this from a sensory point of view, which means recruiting the help of our occupational therapists, our OTs, social workers, not so much to think about mental health, but how do we use sensory interventions in the schools.
And that all has a big negative impact on the children's ability to learn and be successful in the classroom, doesn't it?
The reaction to the stressful events can. So we've got one young man that we're working with right now that before he was even 5 days old incurred 4 of these adverse experiences. And what we see the impact on the behavior is the brain's inability to really regulate itself. So this young man spends a lot of time running in and out of different classrooms, flipping over furniture when he's upset. He can be, pushing and shoving with adults and other kids. So you can imagine how that can negatively impact his relationships, his ability to be successful in the school. The good news is, the flip side of that is, over the last 6 weeks, as we've used a lot of OT and gross motor interventions in between academic tasks, he's done remarkable. We've seen a significant decrease in that behavior, and the thought is, and our OTs would tell you the same thing, over a long-term period, several weeks, we tend to see these behaviors regulate. These kids do better, but that's the obstacle we're facing. Traditional behavior management, sticker charts, and motivational systems don't tend to be very successful with these individuals. So really working with a lot of disciplines like our OTs to say, how do we make sensory interventions work in a school setting?
We'll be back with more tomorrow. For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry Harrington.